you believe that we started recording right in the middle of 2020 with all of the COVID and lockdowns going on around us, unable to meet up? So like many a young gentleman, we turned to the internet for our entertainment. Tried to find a place where we could meet up and talk about the good, the bad, and that time that Stu saw a pelican on the canal. In order to facilitate our dreams of answering all of the big questions in film, and after a few attempts at recording via other methods to various levels of success, we found Zencastr, a super easy web-based one-stop shop for recording. Log in and you're ready to record in a matter of seconds. It doesn't take a tech genius to get high quality audio or video. And on top of that, the one time we have had an issue, the fact that the multi-layered backups are stored locally means it's easily fixed all in browser. There are plenty of tools you need when you start podcasting, so let Zencastr take that headache away, as it offers a place to record, edit and distribute all from one website. Any lazy bones Jones can pick up and play and have studio quality audio or 4K video put out for the world to see when using Zencastr. Go to zencastr.com/pricing and use our code CAGEFIGHTING and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. We want you to have the same easy experiences we do for all our podcasting and content needs. It's time to share your story. And now, hit the music.
Hello, welcome to Cage Fighting. It's your main man Andy Gillard here. Hope you're doing well.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back.
You're looking very red, Stu. What's going on? Have you been for a run or something?
Nah, I've got my new autumn hoodie on there. Look,
That's quite nice, that is, actually.
autumn hoodie of disappointment.
Obviously, yeah. 0-4, is it currently for the
Yes, it's well. It could be 1-4. It could be 0-5 by the time this goes out. If it is out, no Jets head coach has ever in the history of the franchise lost their first 5 games. So,
and no Wolves manager has lost their first 5 games of the season. So, like, you're going to be record breaking on 2 fronts this start to the season, did you?
yeah, it was. There was. I've done this for many years now, as we've talked about getting up at 3 o'clock. But Monday's plan: 9 o'clock, went to bed. On the chair bed, new chair bed there. It's now permanently turned around, so I can just move my normal chair forward and pull that one out. So like a quick release saddle on a bike, and so I'd set my alarm perfectly fine. 12 o'clock for 12:15 start. I set it for the following Monday. But
Ridiculous.
luckily, I woke up at 2 o'clock anyway.
Right.
And I looked at the time, I thought, oh, bollocks. So I just didn't look at my phone. And because you got that catch-up thing, so and because it was the only thing on Sky main event that night,
Yeah.
I just went onto there and went catch up from and watched it as live.
Okay. Well, that's worked out all right then. So at least
So
to
I watched
the beginning.
Yeah, I watched it with even less sleep. With more sleep than I planned to. And then wished I'd kind of hadn't, so that I could have had a nap in the afternoon, which I couldn't then do. But it was a disaster, an absolute disaster. I mean, we're not an NFL podcast, of course. Well, not yet. Although I had a look earlier. EA Play is £5 for a month, so you could pay £5, try the new FC 26, try Madden 26, 10-hour trial for £5.
That's really fucking good, actually, especially when it was 30 quid. What was it I said to the other day?
Yeah, exactly.
Half price. So,
It's
a good trial.
It's 30 quid for another 8 days or so. I think it was the 10th October. So anyone who wants to try out the new FC or Madden, just get EA Play for a month for a $5.
Give
it a go.
And to be fair, obviously, next month it'll be the Black Friday sales as well on the PlayStation Network. So
Yeah,
I wouldn't be
exactly.
surprised if it stays pretty low for the time being, to be fair.
And that is the point. That was my thinking behind playing Madden. I thought, well, I can't actually be worse in real life. So, it has been a few years. But yeah, I mean, thankfully we had Your to watch instead. Which I did watch on the after work on Tuesday to brighten me up. And boy, did it do that. We'll get to that later.
Yeah, that's going to be the second part of the podcast. The first part is going to be Nick by numbers. So, Stu, I have worked it out. We have watched 11,997 minutes of films. That works out to 199 hours, 57 minutes. So 3 minutes shy of 200 hours is 8.3 days of solid Nic Cage. Like, it's no wonder it's taken us 5 and a bit years to get this done.
200 hours of our lives.
Unreal. So if we were travelling at 30 miles per hour, we could travel from Wolverhampton to New York and back, or the far end of South Korea in that time. If we were walking at 3 miles per hour, that's the pace set in The Long Walk, we would travel nearly 600 miles. We could walk to Paris and back. If we were running at 500 miles, we could do the Proclaimers. We could run 500 miles and 500 more. We could cruise in a commercial jet, which they go at 575 miles per hour, round the equator 4.7 times. This is an absolutely ridiculous amount of time we have spent watching Nicolas Cage.
I mean, that's just me as well. You've watched some of them about 2 or 3 times in the early format.
Yeah, some multiple viewings. We could eat 23,994 McVitie's Jaffa cakes. That is an average of 2 per minute. That would be taking on 983,754 calories. That is enough to sustain a fully grown male for 491 days, or a fully grown female for 655 days. If it was football, we would have watched every minute of the Wolves in the league, all of the cups and all of the friendlies in full for the last 3 seasons.
That's fucking ridiculous.
It is, but we've done that as well as this.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing. We could listen to Bohemian Rhapsody on repeat 2,027 and a half times. You would hear Galileo mentioned 12,000 times. Or we could listen to the album version of Steps' Tragedy 2,655 times.
I mean, how many times have I listened to that album?
I dread to think. It's got to be close to that, I'd have thought.
Yeah. Well, considering that I used to Steps, that album, was it self-titled, that album?
You're asking the wrong man there, Stu.
I think it was just called Steps. You've started it now. Steps albums. Because when I used to play Pro Evo against my brother on a Friday night, because obviously I didn't go out.
We'd have been like 14, would we, at that point? When was it released?
98. So yeah, 14. 13, 14. Yeah, step 1, spectacular. So I'm guessing it was on step 1. I know, I can see that the album cover, it's a 4 faces. Yeah, they were mirrored on the, I know, because they were all there then, so it was 5 of them. Yeah, anyway, I used to put music on, because obviously the commentary for Pro Evo was terrible, wasn't it? So
yeah, horrendous.
I used to put music on, like Aquarium and things like that, and deliberately knowing that it'd piss him off and to distract him. I mean, I didn't need to, because I beat him most of the time anyway. Yeah, so singles from step 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, Last Thing on My Mind, One for Sorrow, Heartbeat, Tragedy, and Better Best Forgotten. And you will know all the words to every single one of them songs, even if you don't think you do.
I mean, there's some of those songs I don't know that I've ever heard of before. Heartbeat, did you say, was one?
Yeah, it's a Christmas song. It was the Beat double A side with Tragedy.
No, I don't remember that one. Like, I've obviously never listened to the album, and I wouldn't have been listening to that around that time. I would have been deep in my Oasis and Blur and Pulp and anything with guitars, pretty much.
Yeah, Heartbeat's a proper classic. Like with the as soon as the box used to tick over to Christmas songs,
Hmm.
that was one of them. A bit like Two Become One.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, with all the, and Stay Another Day, that kind of, it's not really Christmas.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Few little sleigh bells in the distance, snowy scene. That kind of video.
I get.
Oh, so we're less than 6 weeks till my decorations go up now.
Sick. I'm fucking hell. Is it really that close?
12th of November, as the rule state. I have to remember
Oh,
to play for the
dear.
boys.
Oh dear. Yeah, I mean, I'd hate the fact that already. I mean, it's been weeks at this point that in B&M and Home Bargains and stuff, they've got as much Christmas stuff in there as they've got Halloween stuff. And at least Halloween is now this month, but that's ridiculous. Like, I feel like such an old man shouting at cloud when I say it gets earlier every year. But this is the first time I remember it being literally the same day as Halloween came about. It's far too early. I don't like it.
They put them out together. A lot of places did. But I mean, Home Bargains they had one aisle the 1 week, and then and last week I went, and then they've got 4 aisles now, and then they've got 2 aisles for Halloween. I mean, this stuff sells. People love it.
Oh yeah, like when I was in, I think it was the Home Bargains over by Aldridge and Warsaw Way, and some woman was arguing with the till staff because they wanted a discount on this Christmas item, and like fair enough because it was damaged. But you know how you've got like those things that like it's like kind of like twine wrapped around into the shape of an animal.
Yeah, yeah.
It's one of those, but the twine had unraveled to the point that it didn't have either of its front legs and was missing one of its back legs. At that point, just put it in the fucking bin. Like, why do you want to discount? That is like, you're never going to be able to fix it because it was just fucked completely. And this woman was like having a proper sit down, throwing the fucking toys out the pram argument with the staff over. And I'm like, just bin it. Fuck. It's only like £8 as well. Like at that point, just get rid. It's just not worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I got a load of stuff last year, and my mum was moaning about this as well, saying like we had stuff for years like when I lived at home that's still that we bought from Hooties that is still fine. And I haven't lived with in the same house as her since 2006. So nearly 20 years old. These things are,
Right.
and they're absolutely fine. Yeah, you buy stuff now, they're not made to last anymore. And they're literally not. Because I bought stuff last year, like the ceiling streamers, like the 80s Wonderland that Christmas should be.
Yeah.
And they're already gone. Because when I took them down, they fell apart. I thought, yeah, I know they're only a couple of quid, like, it doesn't matter.
Like, I bet Mum still got some of the ones that we had up in the 80s. That was that kind of thing. I bet they still exist now up in her loft. Like, yeah, I think it's built to fucking die immediately, so you buy more next year.
Yeah.
That's how they get around
Yeah, of course it is. It's like telly's last 5 years and then you need a new one.
Yeah. Those big old fucking boxes they used to have, they went on forever and a day.
Well, my old it was 1080i. That's how old it was.
Fuck it hell.
32-inch Sony Bravia 1080i, which in 2007, I think I got it for. Because I had this new, I was going to say Schneiderlin, but that was the guy from Southampton, wasn't he?
Yeah, us.
It was a weird German brand in Asda, Schneider, something like that.
Yeah.
And I had that for passing because I did a kind of thing for with GCSEs. I said to Mum, I said, well, if I get an A to C in each one, then you give me 20 quid or whatever. So I had an incentive for myself. But then I did the same thing to Dad as well, and then I ended up with 9. So the money was pouring in. So there was a 28-inch Snyder TV from Asda that was probably almost as deep as it was wide.
Yeah.
And it took three of us
Great.
to carry up the stairs. And that went with me from, what would that have been, 2000? So that lasted 7 years, that thing. And that was a relatively cheap CRT from Asda. And yet the one that replaced it, the Sony Bravia LCD flat screen 1080i 32-inch thing, he's still fine now.
Fucking hell, that's impressive. Like, you know, I kind of miss the days, Christmas Day, bringing the TV down from the bedroom and putting it in the back room to play whilst everyone else was watching whatever, or during Christmas dinner. I miss those days because obviously there's no need to do it now. I have my own TV downstairs and no one to bother me. And like, I kind of miss it a little bit. That was great especially when it's like your Mega Drive and Super Nintendo days.
Well, this is why I deliberately still get, especially with Switch as well, and their Steam Deck, I'll get something for that and play handheld on Christmas Day. Just to keep that sensation going, because you are playing a game on Christmas Day and you are around other people. So some form of toy or gadget is that most of the time I don't need.
Yeah, obviously.
I remember Robo Sapien was a thing.
Yes, and didn't they have like the Velociraptor version?
Yeah, that came later. But I had a Robo Sapien. It didn't do anything. It's a waste of time. You could program it to dance and stuff and move around the table. But once you've done that, that's all it did.
Gets old quick, doesn't it? That kind of thing.
But it was just because it was a toy to play with at Christmas Day.
Yeah, it's not the same as it being a grown up. I kind of miss those days. Maybe I just miss being young. That's all I really.
Or when you had hair on your head and not your face.
Yeah, pretty much.
Then it's just Lego now as well. So.
Yes, yeah, I have got a couple of sets knocking around that need opening and playing with at some point.
Have you seen the new? This is wildly off topic already.
Massively.
There's a the Lego Santa. That's kind of like,
yes, it's like
quid.
Yeah, I was quite surprised. It looks bigger than I was expecting, and it's cheaper than I was expecting. But that looks pretty decent. That does.
Yeah, and it's because it was on Brick Fanatics today that they've. Yeah, so I would spend that time doing. It was on there, and they're saying, the back order is now abolished, and if you order it, you'll get it in more than enough time. I thought, well,
wow.
you got that, and you've got the Santa gingerbread house, the gingerbread 80 Walker, which is
I haven't seen that one. Okay.
But there was more than enough Christmas stuff, and I thought, I've already got this with the Home Alone house that's in the loft that comes down for 2 months of the year. Go and then have a whole setup of Christmas Lego that's only sees the light of day 2 months of the year, possibly.
Yeah, that would be pretty dope, though. To be fair, wouldn't it? I want the Game Boy. I think that's a really nice little set.
Yeah,
I think that's cool, and I need to get the Soundwave as well, the Transformers, because obviously I've got
the other two,
Optimus and Bumblebee, already knocking around somewhere. So yeah, I need to get Soundwave just to keep that set alive. It's a dangerous hobby because it's so fucking expensive.
Yeah, them two have a lot. I was in the group earlier when I was contemplating the Lord of the Rings Rivendell set because it was 300 quid. I thought.
That's not a bad price because it's quite a big set as well, isn't it? So that might not be too bad.
I mean, it's the same amount of pieces as the Home Alone house, and that thing took me 16 hours.
It's not like the new Star Wars £1,000 Death Star.
It looks a bit shit as well.
It doesn't look brilliant, and for that price, I'd want it to be like 3 or 4 times bigger than it is.
Yeah. I mean, the way you'd put it, who knows, but It's
Yeah.
yeah. When that was always the thing when I said about it, when I started doing the ships and stuff after the cars, and now I have found a way to mount them onto the wall, so that is the next plan.
Jobs are good.
And
You
then
can always get those because in IKEA they've got like those runs that you can put photo frames on.
yeah,
So you could always put those depending on how deep the car is if you need it. And like they're not massive sticking out of the wall, so they wouldn't take up too much retail of the actual wall space. So something like that could do the job.
yeah. Well, I've got an idea where they can go, and I could move my Disney Infinity figures above the telly,
Mm.
and so that's a whole new wall free and to put stuff on. But
Yeah.
I've got to get the Milano first, Gardens Milano.
Yeah.
But then you got Avengers Tower, Daily Planet.
I think the Daily Planet is discontinued at the end of the year. So
Yeah,
you
it
need
is.
to get that now if you want to get it.
Yeah, it is. I know the AliExpress ones and all that stuff, it's a lot cheaper, but then you run the gauntlet of them actually being all there.
Yeah.
And I had that with
Yeah.
Optimus, with the, I think that was 25 quid, the Optimus one that I got off there, rather than what yours was over 100, I think, was it?
Yeah, I think it was 120, I think. It was a Christmas present, but I'm sure it was about 120.
Yeah, because Bumblebee was 60 in Sainsbury's wallet seller.
Yeah.
But again, it was just wasting money because it was gone. Because there was massive structural pieces just missing.
Oh, wow. Like I've bought a couple off there and I've had no problems with them. But it's hit and miss, isn't it? Like you can't guarantee it, and obviously sending it back is a bit more of a ball ache. Especially if you've had to spend a week trying to fucking build a thing.
Yeah.
Like it's not always possible, is it?
Yeah, it's just not worth it, but Lego's not worth it either.
No, that's true. It's a nice way to spend a week off, though. Like I kind of just enjoy booking a week off work, watching films, building Lego. That's kind of an awesome way to do it.
Well, that's what when I built the ornithopter from June. When that was a couple of days. How big that thing is. But I was watching Joe Rogan doing that.
Right. Stu, you blink between 900 and 1,200 times per hour. So in 199 hours and 57 minutes, we would have blinked between 180 and 240,000 times. At an average of 0.2 seconds per blink, our eyes would have been closed for between 593 and 790 minutes. That's about 10 to 13 hours we would have been blinking, just watching Cage. The longest Cage film was The Flash at 144 minutes or 2 hours 24. Next to The Outsiders, where we couldn't identify who Cage even was in that, this is the shortest appearance of Cage on film. The shortest Cage film, not including TVs or any of his cameo appearances or the Werewolf Women one, would have been Dark, which was 75 minutes, albeit that is a reworking of Dying of the Light. So the shortest proper film in which Cage starred was Firebird, Mom and Dad, and 211, which all clocked in at 86 minutes.
Firebird?
The average Firebird. Do you remember that? Wings of the Apache, was it?
Oh yeah, like
Title?
helicopter
The Sex Pest one? Yeah,
Yeah.
where he was a sex pest throughout. Yeah. The average Cage film was 102 minutes long. If we break it down by decade, in the 80s, there's 14 films, not including Best of Times. That is 23 hours, 48 minutes, an average of 102 minutes. The 90s were 19 films, not including Industrial, Symphony No. 9, or Saturday Night Live. That is 34 hours, 28. That is an average of 108 minutes. The 2000s was 23 films, 40 hours, 56 minutes, with an average of 106. In the 2010s, there were 40 films. That is 66 hours, 49 minutes at an average of 100 minutes a film. And in the 6 years now of the 2020s, 17 films, not including A History of Swear Words, which is 28 hours, 36 minutes, again, an average of 100 minutes. Award recognition. So at the Oscars, he won one for Live in Las Vegas. He was nominated for adaptation, losing out to Adrian Brody in The Pianist. I don't think I've ever seen The Pianist.
What? How is that possible?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. It looks a bit dry.
It is. It's shit.
It's
the kind of wanky nonsense that you make yourself watch every year.
It does feel like it's proper Oscar bait stuff.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
It's horrible. Horrible.
Like, compared to Schindler's List, which way would you go?
Oh, Schindler's List all the time. I actually like Schindler's List.
Yeah, Schindler's List is a good film, but I know it's, as far as I'm aware, it's a similar subject matter. It's both about the issues around the Second World War and
no, it's not
and stuff. Is it?
It's Schindler's List's got style about it, not just the red thing. It's boring though. Pianist is boring. I think that's the problem with it.
The clips I've seen of it don't look particularly interesting, and that's why I've just never been particularly asked about it. At the BAFTAs, he was nominated for adaptation, losing out to Daniel Day-Lewis in Gangs of New York. Great film. Yeah. The other one he was nominated for was Live in Las Vegas, losing out to Nigel Hawthorne for The Madness of King George, which I've never seen. I don't even think I've ever heard of it, so no. Critics' Choice Awards, he was nominated for Pig. He lost out to Will Smith for King Richard. Well, it was all right. And I know he won the Oscar that year, but it kind of felt like he won that Oscar because he was Will Smith rather than he gave a great performance in King Richard. He was good, but he wasn't brilliant. He was also nominated for Live in Las Vegas, lost out to Kevin Bacon for Murder in the First. Never heard of it. Golden Globes, he won for Live in Las Vegas. He was nominated for Dream Scenario, losing out to Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, fair.
He was nominated for adaptation, losing out to Richard Gere for Chicago. Again, I'm okay with that one. Nominated for Honeymoon in Vegas, which must have been quite a dry year if Honeymoon in Vegas is getting nominated. He lost to Tim Robbins for The Player. I don't think I know that film.
No, same.
No. He was also nominated for Moonstruck, losing out to Robin Williams in Good Morning Vietnam, which again, I think is quite a fair one. Yeah. At the other end of the scale, he was nominated for the worst actor at the Razzies for Drive Angry, Season of the Witch and Trespass. They put like all his films in 1 year together. So those three films, he lost out to Adam Sandler for Jack and Jill and Just Go With It. He was nominated for Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance and Seeking Justice, losing out again to Adam Sandler for That's My Boy. Left Behind, where he lost to Kirk Cameron for Kirk Cameron's Saving Christmas. Sounds like that one might be up your alley, Stu, but I don't know that.
Yeah.
He was also nominated for Worst Supporting Actor in Snowden, which...
What?
This is my problem with the Razzies, because he was nominated because he's Nic Cage, not because he gave a bad performance. Because like you or I could just sign up to their website and we would get a vote. So we could just vote for people we don't like. In Snowden, he was fine. Like, he's only in it for a couple of minutes, so it's ridiculous. He lost out to Jesse Eisenberg for Batman v Superman DOJ.
Well,
again, fair. He did win the Redeemer Award at the Razzies for Pig. That is the award given to an actor who has come back from a critical or commercial failure to become a respected artist. Like, I hate the Razzies. I think they're kind of fucking... Well, they're massively worthless because they mean nothing. But that Redeemer Award feels very apt for Nic Cage. Like, we've spent quite the last so many weeks looking at the 2010 stuff, and obviously Piggy's at the start of the 2020s. So he did redeem himself, I think, because the vast majority of the 2010s was terrible. Very few highlights in that time. And then Pig comes along and it's so much more incredible than the vast majority of work he's done in the 21st century, let alone in the last 15 years. So I think that is the only time I will, like, doff my cap to the Razzies because that is a worthy award. So, IMDb average ratings. In the 80s, 6.3 is the average. The best was Raising Arizona with a 7.3. Second place is Birdie and Moonstruck with a 7.2. The worst is Best of Times and Time to Kill with a 5.0. Time to Kill's the one where he rapes the local woman and then shows her a picture of an alligator. Like, yeah, that film was fucking awful. The 90s average, 6.3 again. The best is Leaving Las Vegas with 7.5 and The Rock with 7.4. The worst is Deadfall with a 4.0. In the noughties, 6.2 is the average, so down slightly. But the best is Adaptation with a 7.7. And I was kind of surprised to see that Lord of War was in second place with a 7.6. Wicker Man is the worst of this run with a 3.8. The average in the 2010s is a 5.4. The best is Spider-Verse with an 8.4. Second place is Kick-Ass with a 7.6. The worst is Left Behind with a 3.1. The average in the 20s so far also surprised me a little bit because it's a 5.7. The best is Unbearable Weight with a 7.0. Second place is Pig and the Croods 2 with a 6.9. The worst is Jiu-Jitsu with a 2.9. So the overall average on IMDb is a 5.9. His top 5 films then from 1 to 5: Spider-Verse, Adaptation, Kick-Ass, Lord of War, Leaving Las Vegas. The lowest rated from 5 to 1, Between Worlds with a 3.9, Wicker Man, Gunslingers with a 3.7, Left Behind and Jiu-Jitsu make up his worst ones. Rotten Tomatoes average for the 80s is a 79%. That is missing Best of Times, Boy in Blue, Never on Tuesday, and Time to Kill. The best rated is Raising Arizona with 91% and Moonstruck with 90%. The worst is Vampire Kiss with 64% and Racing with the Moon on 67%. We quite like Racing with the Moon. I'm a bit surprised to see that. But then Best of Times, Never on Tuesday, Boy in Blue, Time to Kill, they're all worse films, but they either had no reviews or like 2 or 3 reviewers, so not enough to give a proper consensus. Because all of those are worse than Vampire's Kiss and Racing with the Moon, I think. Moving into the 90s, 55% is the average. The best rated film is Red Rock West with 95% and Leaving Las Vegas with 90%. The worst is Firebird with 8% and Trapped in Paradise with 10%.
Well, that's outrageous.
Massively overrating it there. It's 10%.
6 years to go.
The noughties was a 43% average. Adaptation with 90%, Bad Lieutenant with 86%. Bangkok Dangerous is the worst with a 9% and A Christmas Carol with a 13%. A Christmas Carol is worse than Trapped in Paradise by far.
Easy.
Like, that's terrible film that was.
The best thing about A Christmas Carol is the song. That is it.
Yeah, the Kate Winslet one, yeah, definitely. Awful movie, and it looked like shit as well. I'm surprised that it's 13%. If that got a 4%, I wouldn't have been shocked. The 2010s average is 37%. That is missing Vengeance, a Love Story, Dark, and Kill Chain. The best, Spider-Verse 97% and Teen Titans Go to the Movies with 92%. The worst is Left Behind with a 0%. Arsenal with a 3%. I don't know how anyone could have said anything positive about Arsenal. It's just awful film. The 20s, the average so far has been 65%, so it is up. Pig with 97% and Dream Scenario with 91%. The worst is Gunslingers with 5% and Jiu-Jitsu with 27%, which seems very high. The average Rotten Tomatoes score then is 51%. The highest scorers, Spider-Verse, Pig, Red Rock West, Face Off with 93%, and then Teen Titans Go to the Movies. The lowest scorers, Gunslingers, Outcast had 5%, 211 with a 4%, Arsenal and Left Behind. We ranked Cage's 80s films 20-6 in favour of good. Both gave it a 10-3 score. We gave Voids to The Outsiders, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, because he just wasn't in them enough. And we disagreed on 2 films. We ranked his 90s 28-13 in favour of good. I gave 13-7 and you gave it 15-5. We didn't give a score to Industrial Symphony No. 9 for obvious reasons, and we disagreed on 4 films. The noughties was 27-19, 13-10 for me and 14-9 for you. No voids in this period, just the one disagreement. The 2010s was 43 good to 31 bad, 22-15 for me and 21-16 for you. We have 3 voids, which was Snowden, Spider-Verse and Teen Titans. In retrospect, I don't think we should have avoided Spider-Verse, because he's in that more than he's in other films that we have included in this rating. So I think he probably should have done, but I don't think we knew that at that point. So I know why we did it, but in retrospect, probably
It would have been
shouldn't
good
have done.
anyway. So
Obviously, yeah. We disagreed on 4 films. In the 20s, overwhelmingly good. It's 31-3 so far. I'm 15-2 and you're 16-1. The only voids that we gave were History of Swear Words and The Flash, and we only had 1 disagreement. So the totals then, there were 8 times that we didn't think he gave enough, he didn't have enough screen time for his performances. I gave it 70 good to 39 bad. You gave it 73 good to 36 bad, totaling 143 good and 75 bad. The 13 films that we disagreed on, I said that he was good in Birdie, Wild at Heart, The Trust, A Score to Settle and Running with the Devil. You said that he was good on Valley Girl, Amos and Andrew, Deadfall, Snake Eyes, Ghost Rider, Inconceivable, Jiu-Jitsu and Gunslingers. So if you were to go and see a Nicolas Cage film, the chances are that he will more than likely be good in that film with a 66% chance. So 2 out of every 3 films Nic Cage gives a good performance, and we have got the evidence to prove it.
5 years later, I'm actually quite surprised it was that close. Well, I know there hasn't been many times, obviously, with the stats are there to prove it, that we didn't agree on that many. Really, there was disagree on that many, because there's the obvious
Only
ones.
13, yeah. Like, I mean, that means out of 100 odd. I mean,
118.
Yeah, 100. Yeah, so taking out the voids and the disagreements, so we agreed on like 90 odd of them. So there, only 13 disagreements. But yeah, it was, like I say, it was very close. There's 3, realistically, there's 3. You gave 3 more goods than I did, and that was it. So yeah, very, very close call in the end of it. But yeah, it was a 2-1 score in terms of the overall greatness of Cage.
Which, considering how how I don't look at these things as in depth as you, and I just go on what I like and enjoy, that's quite strange, really. How I thought it would be a lot more than that. I thought it would be about 10-20 more than you gave goods. But the obvious ones like Trapped in Paradise and Valley Girl, which are excellent, and I don't care what people think.
But I think I said that he was good in Trapped in Paradise. The film's not good, because I think this was the thing with quite a few of them. I probably should have kept a track of good and bad film as well as good and bad acting. But there were plenty of films where we said that the film was shit, but Cage gave a performance that film didn't deserve.
Gunslingers, yeah.
Yeah, like there's a lot of that in there as well. So if nothing else, Cage is usually good in a film. Even if the film's not great, you can watch him in that movie and get something out of it.
Yeah,
I think that's where it really comes down to it, because it's got to be closer to 50-50 on did you enjoy the film than I bet this is. So that is Nic Cage done. Stu, I think next week then, top 10 favourite Cage films next week. And I think it's favourite, not best. I think we've got to go with what we love because, like, obviously, I know Valley Girl's going to be in your top 10. So, I think it's what we love rather than what we think is the best. Because do you think Valley Girl is the best or do you just think it's a really fun movie?
Yeah, it's not because it's not the best. And Trapped in Paradise is probably not going to be in that. I mean, it might be. I haven't sat down to think about it really yet.
It'll be in my list the week after the next, though. That one.
But I mean, I like it because it's stupid, and that's. But we'll see. We'll come to that next week. But it's. Have you got the graphics of the how things have been ranked over the decades yet?
Not yet. I haven't had time because I've been having to go through so many podcasts to figure out how we'll vote it on the end. So that any spare time, I've been listening back to old episodes and trying to find those stats. So I just haven't had a chance to do it yet.
A frankly ridiculous task this was.
It was, but at the same time, like I quite enjoyed listening to us talk about other bits of films and just reminded me of stuff that we spoke about at the time that I'd forgotten about, and it was quite a nice reminder to remember some of the absolute dross that we have watched throughout this. But then even like talking about something like Joe, which we really enjoyed and was not at all what we expected. So it was nice to hear some of the really positive stuff and some of the quite negative stuff. Right. So after the break, you're the hunter from the future. Welcome back. Right. Okay. So this is the start of Absurd Autumn. Basically, we had 8 weeks that we just needed to fill. So I thought, we had 8 weeks we wanted to fill, and I wanted to watch They Live. So I just needed an excuse to try and build something around that. And I came up with the idea that we'll watch an absurd film, one from each year for the first 8 years of our life. So we started in 1983 with The Hunter from the Future. Cavemen with laser guns, and like it's pulpy sci-fi nonsense. And so as a quick précis, You're the Hunter from the Future is a delirious Italian, French, Turkish sci-fi film fantasy mashup loosely based on an Argentinian comic. It follows Yor, played by Reb Brown, a blonde, muscle-bound warrior roaming a prehistoric wasteland of cavemen, dinosaurs, and sand mummies. Early on, he rescues Kalar, played by Corinne Clary, and her protector, Pag, played by Luciano Pigozzi, from a dinosaur attack. Then joins them on their quest to uncover his mysterious origins. Along the way, Yor battles blue-skin tribes, flies on a giant bat carcass, and discovers his amulet links him to the hidden futuristic civilization ruled by the tyrannical overlord, played by John Steiner. The film veers wildly, between cavemen pulp and space opera sci-fi, climaxing in laser battles that feel like Conan the Barbarian colliding with Star Wars. So, Stu, we've got 5 categories to rank this film in. So, the 5-point framework, we've got the Kaboom quotient. This is how gloriously over top the action is. Points for explosions, impractical weapons, improbable stunts, the effectiveness of the effects. We've got the plot pretzel. This is how twisted, nonsensical, and hilariously convoluted the story is. We've got message in the madness. Is there a deeper meaning? Like, is there actually socio-political or cultural commentary going on? Satire, allegory, accidental profundity, everything like that. We've got the ham and cheese charter. This is the acting scale, basically. From glorious hammy to cheddar sharp camp. Points for line delivery that becomes instantly quotable. And finally, the what the fuck factor. This is the pure absurdity. Moments that make you pause, rewind, and say, what did I just watch? The more unhinged, the higher the score. Stu, I think we should start really with the plot pretzel then, because that's really the bulk of the film, isn't it? Like, this film starts with you're surrounded by cavemen and sand people and dinosaurs and fighting with rocks and sticks and fire, and then we get spaceships and laser beams. it's not an easy film to describe because it's all over the place.
So, without knowing anything about this, and he says, "Yeah, Hunter from the future." I thought, okay. And then you look at the start of it, and I mean, I didn't think or look anything up about it at all. So I went in very, very blind, which is probably a silly thing to do because it kind of went. I mean, Hunter from the future. I thought, okay, fine. He comes in to save him from the shit Triceratops, which we'll get to that in the effect section.
I've got that listed as well.
Yeah, I mean, I thought, okay, so he knows how to do this. Is this why he's from the future? And then I thought nothing of it. And then the minute you see the boombox or the talking box or something, he throws it into the sand. And when he says about the guy comes from the sky, I thought, hang on a minute. Is this something something very different to what I thought it was? And yes, it was.
Completely. Yeah, same.
So when they go into the command center or the ship or whatever the hell it is, and everyone else is in terrible spacesuits, and they're just in loincloth, and they're just wandering around. I mean, his hair, they look like they've put a Flash Gordon wig on an 80-year-old man and said that he's 35.
He just look ancient, doesn't he?
I mean, how old is Reb? I never looked at that. I mean, if he even has an age.
Reb to IMDb. I mean, Zeb Brown, what a name.
1948, he was born. So, he used to be in his mid-30s.
Yeah, so he's 77 now, and this film was 42 years ago. So, yeah, he was 35.
Jesus.
I wonder how old the old Gimmer mate was, Hag. Does he look like he was knocking on heaven's door back then?
So, Pag 27, Pag was born.
So add another 20 years onto him. He looked a lot older than 55. That was like paper round in Beirut kind of haggard how he was looking.
It's the 80s, are we? We've done this before.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah. So apparently in Italy, this was shown as a TV miniseries. And like the original, there was a lot more stuff in there. It kind of had to be. But I think when you watch this film, you can sort of see that it's not a film because every 20 odd minutes, everything changes completely. Like we get 20, 30 minutes with your meeting Kalar and Pag. Then we get the attack from the blue fellas, her kidnapping, the rescue and the flood that kills everybody. We then get another half an hour-ish of the same thing with your meeting Roa, the other woman. Kalar getting jealous and then tries to kill her before she then gets fatally injured. But she leaves him with a message of your people are out there and all that. And then we get another, and it is very episodic in the way that the whole thing's been laid out. So I think you can see that it's a TV series that they've just cut the fuck out of when they've released it as an actual film in the States.
I think that's kind of how I watched the original It miniseries. I watched it as a film.
Yeah, same. Because it was two-hour TV specials, wasn't it? If I remember rightly.
Yeah, and you can absolutely tell with that as well.
Yeah, you can.
I mean, whether it was influenced by Flash Gordon, you can kind of see that.
Like you can see that it's Conan the Barbarian from what I read on Wikipedia was an influence on it. You can see that, and obviously this would have been out in '83, which is when Return of the Jedi was out, and you can see Star Warsy nonsense. So you can see that it's trying to be swords and sandals and space fighting in the future. Like you can see that it's trying to do a bit of everything, and in turn achieves fuck all because it's fictionless. I love how he meets cave people and then the sand people and then the beach people and then his own people. And almost all of them die and get killed in his film. Like, he saves nobody. He's fucking terrible in this film.
Well,
I like how as well.
his amulet,
Go.
his medallion.
Yeah. Yeah, the medallion that keeps coming back for very little reason, just to keep the plot going.
I mean, that
like
is
how-
the plot. The medallion
Yeah,
is the
it
plot.
is. That's what drives it through, I think. It's very flimsy. Kalar being willing to kill for his dick. That's quite funny. And then, like, obviously they meet Roa, who actually dies for his dick. She dies because she's with him. And then, like, one of the beach people offers his young daughter to Yor. It's like, oh, you only have one wife. Here, have some more. Have my daughter. And the daughter looks at him like, I want your dick. Like, everyone wants a piece of fucking Yor. And it's absolutely bonkers, but I really fucking enjoyed it.
But it's how he turned out to say, I already have a woman, or is it I have a wife, or something like that.
Yeah.
And then she kind of walks up with a proper 80s perm, and she looks older than him. Like, she could be his
Yeah.
mom.
100%. Awful. And then we get the ending with the voiceover. Like, we've got Hadaldi Bentz, and he's killed the Overlord because reasons. And that was a bit Star Warsy because he threw him off the shaft.
Yeah.
This, I think, would have been out. So I think this was released in February 83, where Star Wars would have been out, I think, May or even December. So I don't think it would have seen, well, the director-writer wouldn't have seen it. But there were definite parallels. But I don't know if it was actually done on purpose. But yeah, you get this voiceover. Yor returns to the primitive tribes of the mainland. He's determined to use his superior knowledge to prevent them from making the same mistakes as their forefathers. Will he succeed? But at no point in the film do they tell us what the mistakes of the forefathers really were. We don't know how we got here, just that we got here, that we are now in this post-apocalyptic world, and we've got people who live in spaceships, and we've got people on the ground who are sort of like the humans in Planet of the Apes.
Mm.
But like, nothing's really explained. And then we've just got this voiceover that says, and that's your film, go away. Okay. Okay. This was absolute silly bollocks. But considering it was like 80s nonsense with everyone in loincloths, there's not enough boob in this film for my liking.
No.
I feel like we should have had a bit more boob. That's the only thing that's missing.
Yeah, like massive ones as well. But the mixture of massive ones and the small 80s boob that you got with girls with big hair.
Small 80s boob with big nipple. That's the one.
Yeah, that's the kind of, it's like a time and place. But maybe because it's Italian. Well, it is Italian, so the fact that the Overlord guy is he's a well-known Italian film villain, and he's English.
Yeah. I don't understand how that's happened. But yeah, apparently, like, he's a big deal in that type of cinema. John Steiner is his name. Incredible. Tall, blonde, British character actor, portrayed some of the most memorable villains in Italian cinema during the 70s and 80s. Born in Cheshire, England in 1941. The video on his IMDb page is with Lou Ferrigno in what looks to be, not Aladdin. It looks like Sinbad, maybe. Was it Sinbad that he was in? I can't remember. But yeah, like, everything he's done appears to be very, very schlocky, Eurocentric, Eurotrash.
Well, Lou Ferrigno was in Sinbad of the Seven Seas. Maybe
it's that. It looks like it in like the video, but yeah, that's the first thing you see is Lou Ferrigno with some kind of Aladdin-y style pantaloons on. So it could be that he's in with him. I've given it a 7 out of 10 because I did have quite a bit of fun with this absolute fucking nonsense.
For plot.
Because the plot's all over the place and it was gloriously absurd.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of fits the brief.
Well, I had it. I had it 3/7 because I wasn't sure which way we were going with this. So
okay,
if we're
right.
going for that, then I'm going 7 as well. Then
Cool. Yeah, I'm thinking not the worst but the sillier, the more fun, the more B movie splatter nonsense,
Yeah.
the higher the score. I think we go that way. Yeah. So next one to talk about message in the madness. I don't think there was one really, was there? I don't see any socio-political meaning to any of this. Like there's no personal or even philosophical message going on here. It was a bunch of pretty barely coherent short stories just wanged together. Like it just felt like it was jumping from here to the next and they didn't really give any time for any message to be put forth.
All I had I had 2 for this, and that was just because, I mean, you mentioned it there, the nonsense voiceover at the end, which is we hadn't even heard that guy's voice before, so that's obviously
Yeah, who was it? Yeah.
someone put in for the film release.
Mm.
But well, there was a woman who mentioned it about starting over because we've tried this before and it didn't work, so now we have to try it again. Like, is it kind of a thing being 80s? Like, is it a thing about Cold War and stuff like that in the 60s and 70s and maybe stuff like that? Maybe it's because that was very clear. But what she said that about starting over, we've tried it before and we need to try again. I thought, okay. So are you saying that, yeah, you've tried it with your weird suits on and you've put these people back and every time you're going back in this time machine thing, if it is a time machine or whatever the fuck's going on,
Yeah.
to try and repopulate the earth in your image? Is this what we're saying? Is it like knowing?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it's like a preservation-y kind of a message.
Yeah.
Is it Avatar? Is it Avatar from 1983? Is that what we're saying?
Well, we got blue people, so
Yeah. I don't know why they were blue.
well, that's if it's radiation, like some people, the thick ones just blue. Like when they're kids,
Maybe.
and then they start fighting amongst themselves.
Yeah. That's so weird. I gave it a 0 for this because I didn't see that message, but now you've mentioned it, I think that kind of makes a bit of sense. I don't think they did a good job of really pushing it forth for me. So I'm going to give it a 2, I think. What have you got?
Yeah, I had 2.
2 as well?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, the ham and cheese charter. When he was asked about his medallion around his neck and your replied, I wish I knew. It's like a fire burning inside of me, a question without an answer. Am I the son of fire, with no mother, father, looking off into the middle distance while he had like this inordinate amount of fucking rouge on his cheeks? It was so silly. I'll rewind that a couple of times. It really tickled me. When he hit the blue guy and then threw into the water and said, damn you, cunt! I thought he was going to call him cunt. Bit disappointed he didn't. Should we say, after he said that line about, no, with no mother, father, and then Car says, there must be a tribe of men like you, and there must be women too. And she was staring directly into the camera when she was saying it. I was like, no, what are you doing? And then when Kala discovers Roa with Yor, and like she's just got this face like fucking thunder on, it was so funny. Like she was so fucking cheesy in this film. She was brilliant, but not in the right way at all.
I think the jump cuts as well, like the jump zoom thing that it kept happening all the time. It's like da, da, da.
It really was, wasn't it? It's awful.
I mean, it's on IMDb anyway. When he slays the Triceratops thing, the blood of your enemy makes you stronger. Drink. And then Pang just said, I'd rather stay weak.
And then she drinks it, and it's like, oh, that tastes like shit. I'm like, obviously, it's fucking blood, you silly bitch. What are you doing? I thought Roa was really bad as well. Like, her face just never moved. And I feel like every line reading she gave, she was looking over his shoulder at someone who was holding the card. Because I get the impression that she didn't know what she was doing at all. And so much of this film was like redone in ADR. Like you could tell
Yeah.
that there was a lot of audio. Like even Tommy Wiseau was thinking that's a bit much because it was everything throughout the entire film.
Well, because this was the first film worryingly, this was the first film I'd watched on that new telly. So I plugged it in and downloaded Kodi to watch it through that.
Yeah.
And I thought, after about 5 minutes, I thought, hang on a minute, does this need the old audio tuning? Because I was watching it through simulated Dolby Atmos. And I thought, well,
It completely doesn't deserve that.
and I was in minus 200 milliseconds, which is, it's between 250 depending on TV. Just because I can I can see these things, unfortunately. And I thought, fucking hell, it's broken. And then I realised it was ADR.
Yeah. Whole thing. The only one who I thought was like, I could see having a semi-reasonable career would be the old gear mate, would have been Pag. Like, I feel like he was sort of okay in this. He was the only one who I would have bought as having actually acted before. Because everyone else felt like they'd just dragged them off the streets. He sort of understood that you just act like a human on camera. No one else understood that, I think.
I mean, the Overlord might as well have been holding a skull at arm's length.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And going,
he was
full thespian.
Yeah, he was Skeletor mixed with Darth Vader and Mumra and every villain in everything 1980s you've ever seen. It was proper hamming it up, wasn't it?
It was like how he was looking down his face as well sometimes, where he'd put his head back and he'd look down.
I feel like, because obviously with him being British, there's a lot of the Master from Doctor Who going on.
Yeah.
Old school Master, not John Stephen version of him. Like you could see that they were like really going for that kind of thing, and it's corny as fuck. Like I feel like on the cheese-ometer then, so I feel like it's quite a high scoring because you're and Kalar, and then thrown in the Overlord as well. There's a lot of shit going on here. You've only really got the old fellow. I think he's semi-decent. So this is a higher score. This is an 8 out of 10 for me.
Exactly the same.
Ridiculous. 8 out of 10. The kaboom quotient. When the Triceratops attacks at the beginning, it looked surprisingly not shit, I thought. For a 1983 film with a budget of nothing, I thought, you know what? That looks better than I would have expected for a practical effect of this age.
The big one, you mean? Not the
little one.
The dog with a suit on.
Yeah, that was terrible. It's just...
Yeah, it was all right. But you think, because I haven't seen it for so long because it was stolen from us. I haven't seen the original Star Wars trilogy as it was before it was CG'd. So,
Same.
I mean, imagining some of the puppets look pretty bad now. And obviously you've got Flash Gordon anyway, and things of this era. And yeah, it had a surprising amount. I mean, when it was getting absolutely fucked up and it was getting its eyes going out, and when it was later on when he was messing with the jaw of the other one, like the Stegosaurus like thing, and it wasn't terrible, amazing.
Yeah, like I'm not going to say it was good because that feels like I'd be lying.
Yeah,
but it was fine.
But the creature effect was as good as he got. Well, the rest of it was shit. Like, not even funny. It was just bad.
Yeah, like there was quite a lot of fire going on in parts, but it never looked right. Like it was just the embers of fire. Like they never really went for it. I don't think everything else was kind of restrained in the practical effect side of things. Anyway, I think the one bit I did like was when they're escaping from the sand people and he just fucking wangs that flaming sword through one of them. I thought that was quite a cool visual and probably better than this film deserved, but I quite liked that.
And to be fair, when the ship takes off at the end as well, that looked really good.
Yeah.
But there was no compositing around the edges of it at all. It was perfectly blended.
Yeah, they did an okay-ish job, surprisingly. But the The laser shots and stuff were like the worst you've ever seen. Like, I mean, really low effort. It was just a case of we need to get it on film, I think. So they just put whatever out there. When they were in the caves with the sand people and there was the rock slide, you could tell that it was just like pebbles, but they've done an extreme close up to make it look like it's a big thing. That didn't look particularly good at all either.
Yeah, because you can't simulate water. Like watching
No.
Corridor Crew and talking about this stuff, you can just tell it's a model.
Right, yeah. Yeah, it's very true. Like a little bit of water looks like a little bit of water. It doesn't look like, if you zoom into it, it doesn't look like a lot of water is sized down. So in these terms, it just wouldn't work practically.
Yeah, I don't know what else they could have done really, but not that.
Yeah. The corpse of the giant dead bat as a hang glider, kind of ridiculous. I did like it though, but it was awful. I
mean,
feel like I'm
when he spears
Yeah.
it to when he that this is the thing though. You've got the ship where they take off, and that looks remarkably good. And yet, where you've got the bat when it's flying before he spears it, and it just looks ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just abysmal. I'm sitting very much in the middle on this one. I'm thinking I've got a 5, which is like the first thing we've not agreed on. Yeah, like it was for what it was fine. I think we will get better and bigger and sillier. So that's why I've got in the middle anyway. I just think there's some good and there's some bad and not enough to really push me one way or the other.
I mean, am I being over good on this because of the certain thing? I mean, yeah, I think I'm going to change my mind. Because if you look at everything else, I mean, you look at the costumes as well. It was all shit.
Yeah.
All of it. Terrible. Like the robot things, bad.
Yeah. Yeah. I forgot to mention it, like right at the beginning of the film when we meet him and he's running around to that really shit song. I swear to God, like the loincloth they've put in him, it just covers one arse cheek. Like he meant he's just running around and he's got half of his arse out. I'm like, this is a weird fucking start to the film.
Well, you say that now. But have I got it here? Oh, I think I might have deleted it. I checked it. Hold on a second. When did I watch it? Tuesday. I'll put it up just when that song came on and when it came on at the end again. I thought, I wonder what'll happen. And I Shazammed it, and it came up.
Oh wow! Okay, that's shocking.
So, you can check your Shazam thing, can't you?
You can, yeah.
If you go in the history, so we'll find out what it is imminently. Because I thought it was bad, but it was infectious at the same time.
It kind of reminded me of like Lamal, Neverending Story.
Yes.
And that sort of like, yeah, but like a shit version of it.
So it was called Yours World.
Okay.
By Oliver Onions.
That's got to be a fake name. Surely to shit, that's got to be a fake name. Oh, wow. It's on YouTube.
Yeah. And Apple Music.
Unreal. Check that out then, yeah. Brilliant. Right then, the what the fuck factor. There were a few bits that actually rewound on this, like the dinosaur stuff, but unfortunately we only had 2 instances of that. But they were like quite decent and silly enough to get some enjoyment out of it. Every time that Yor was talking to a woman who wasn't Kalar, like that always made me laugh with her just stood in the background. I almost expected to have her arms folded, looking furious and say, "I'm fine," whenever he asks what's wrong with you. It was terrible. I think the real what the fuck came at the end, like after seeing all of the swords and sandals nonsense, before the UFO came in, and it turned from the land before time into Lost in Space. Finding out the worlds that we've been in this whole time was this post-apocalyptic world, and he just had amnesia. That
Yeah.
I was not expecting that at all. Like, I'd sort of forgot he was the hunter from the future, and it didn't really mean anything through his film. So, that was a proper what the fuck for me. I didn't expect it at all.
I'm almost lost for words again. I don't know what to say for this section because
I know what you mean. Like,
I don't think
I
I've
had
ever
fun with this film, though.
I don't think I've ever seen anything like this before.
No,
Genuinely,
yeah.
because it's so
We
strange.
faced a lot of shit, and yeah.
It's so strange, and it's not like the Room was a bad film that's been turned into funny, and
Mhm.
this was made as a bit of a joke by the sounds of it,
Yeah, I think so.
and not just like retrospectively turned into one. So if this was deliberately made ridiculous, then it's a masterpiece, and it works. Because you did have when you had the dog triceratops, and I laughed at that, and then the other one,
Immediately, yeah. So,
and then the big one comes and he's getting smashed to pieces. I thought, yeah, wow, okay.
mhm.
But then they are walking around in what looked like Battlestar Galactica level like, costumes,
Yeah.
and there's a bit where when he's looking over the gap to plant the bomb. Where's the bomb come from? And he swings across and gets stuck. And then the little flip.
That was so silly. Like, this whole film was just silly, though, wasn't it? It was.
But he did the flip, and then how is he holding? Is he holding the rope with his feet? Because
Well, I mean, that's the thing, because like, he did it like some kind of fucking trapeze artist. I don't understand where it came from. It made no sense.
and he's old.
And he's old as balls, so, like, what the fuck? Like, the whole thing was ridiculous, though, so it's kind of in keeping with the stupidity of everything else, I guess.
And then when he swings across, and then when he does the little spin to swing across as well himself off the rope,
Yeah.
and the whole the Overlord's end as well. He stumbles.
It was so silly. Just. I think is though, will I be rewatching this film? I don't know if I would. Like, the Room gets rewatched regularly. I don't know if this has got the rewatchability.
I mean, when I said this, I was going to watch. I had something to watch for this, and she was, "I thought you'd finished." I went, "Oh no, this is something else together."
Yeah.
And so I'll show you the trailer later, because I don't want to spoil it for myself. And she was still here before she went out, and so she heard the first 25 minutes and me just laughing my head off at it. And she came back, she went, "What was you even watching?" I went, "You're." I went, "No, what was you watching?" I went, "No, you're." And then she had the trailer. Went, "Oh, okay, it's one of those films, is it?" I was like, "Yes, it is one of those films," and that's kind of it. I can't say that I'm never going to see this again, because if you want something really stupid to watch, this is top of the pile at the minute.
Yeah, like, I definitely enjoyed myself watching it. I don't know how much rewatch it like, compared to some of the other films we've got coming up that I've seen before. I don't know that this will be that high. I feel like it's a good start. I'm going with a 6 out of 10. I'm on the side of good. I just don't know if it's. I think there's gonna be more absurdity out there. So I'm going with a 6 on this one, I think, Stu.
I mean, the more unhinged, the higher the score. That's what your categories.
Hmm. Yeah. That's a good point.
I mean, I have got a 7. 'Cause
Okay.
it's not the craziest thing ever, but at the same
No.
time, there's some mental shit in this film that make that's you're not gonna forget it, are you?
No, you are right. Like, there are definitely moments of just absolute batshittery going on. I just think I know I've seen stuff that's more bonkers than this, and I think that's all it is just that I've seen crazier stuff. Like, it's a good crazy film. I think there's gonna be better. What did you give for the Kaboom quotient, Stu? Did you say 6 or
Hang on, let's get it back up again. I changed it to a 5.
to a 5?
Same as you.
Okey-doke. Okay, so that is 9, 17, 22, 28 out of 50 for me, and 29 out of 50 for you. So that gives us a percentage of 57% score for this film. So 57% is where we're going to be sitting on. Like, I think this is a good start for the whole thing that we're going to do now. I mean, I'm excited to see where we go with it, because next week then, Stu, we'll be doing Cromer's gory, goofy superhero satire, absurd violence with a wink, 1984's The Toxic Avenger. Cromerville has a monstrous new hero. The Toxic Avenger is born when meek mop boy Melvin falls into a vat of toxic waste. Now evildoers have a lot to lose. I love Cromer films. They are absolutely ridiculous. Some of the most fun I've had. Terra Firma, I would fully recommend you, Stu, once we've done Toxic Avenger. Terra Firma was James Gunn's first writing credit, and I think Trey Parker is in it. Is it Trey or Matt? I think it's Trey who's in it, if I remember correctly. It's just ridiculous, but I think you'd like that. But I think the Toxic Avenger is the perfect one to move on to. And obviously, the new one has been out and it's now available on video on demand as well. So I think it's they are good fun, but just utter silly bollocks. I haven't seen it for probably about 10 to 15 years. So I'm kind of wondering how much this is going to hold up. But I am looking forward to seeing it regardless.
Yeah, I saw it years and years ago. Saying, that's why when you said, "Oh yeah, there's a new one out." Well, how?
He's not Melvin. He's someone completely different. It's it looks decent as well. Like, the actual effects that they've used in it are really good for what it is. It's worth watching, and like I say, it's on video on demand now, so you can check that out. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing Toxic Avenger. It's been so long that I hope it doesn't let me down. But yeah, that's going to be next week anyway. Also, he's going to be our favourite Nic Cage films. I think 10 is enough, isn't it, to go on with for that rather than... Like, we could be here all day, I think, otherwise. So yeah, we'll do top 10s and the Toxic Avenger next week. Make sure you've got us on your podcatchers at Cage Fighting Pod on the socials and cagefightingpod@gmail.com. If you've got any emails, get in contact. Let us know what absurd films that you like that we can watch, because we might have a bit of time over the Christmas period as well, to be fair, to get some nonsense in there.
I mean, this ends in 1990, so next year it's 91 to 98 or 99 or whatever. When we do,
what have you got? So, hang on, I've got the list here. It is, yeah, you're right. So it would be from 91 to, yeah, just send us your list of films from 1991 onwards that are big, silly, stupid, preferably with a lot of action, and if there's any horrific acting, the more the better. I think we can compile a list for the next time we do some absurdity.
Yeah, absurd autumn next year, and then the same year after.
That's a good idea. Like, we might end up having to go backwards at some point into the 70s once we get to that level. But yeah, that's a great idea. we'll be back again. But yeah, anyway, Toxic Avenger next week. Get it checked out. I hope it will be worth your whiles viewing. I have a sneaky suspicion this might be a higher scorer than You're the Hunter from The View. Stu, for this week, would you like to say goodbye?
I'm afraid death rules this land. Goodbye.
It's goodbye from me too. And remember, be excellent to each other.